When I think about starting 2026, I feel that it should not begin with loud resolutions written on the first page of a diary that we forget by February, but with a quiet decision inside our minds where we promise ourselves that this year we will grow slowly, honestly, and with awareness, even if the progress is invisible to others at first.
I agree with you completely, because for me starting 2026 is less about changing everything overnight and more about fixing small daily habits, like how I wake up, how I speak to people, how I use my time, and how I react when things do not go as planned, since these tiny actions quietly decide the direction of the whole year.
Exactly, and I also feel that the first step of 2026 should be reflection, where we sit with ourselves and look back at 2025 not with regret or blame, but with understanding, accepting what went wrong, appreciating what went right, and learning what kind of person we are slowly becoming through our experiences.
Reflection is important, because without it we repeat the same mistakes with new calendars, and I want 2026 to be the year where I stop running on autopilot and start making conscious choices about my career, my health, my relationships, and even my dreams, which I sometimes ignore because they feel too big or too risky.
When you talk about dreams, I realize that starting 2026 also means giving ourselves permission to dream again without fear, because over time failures make us cautious, and we start calling fear realism, but a new year gives us a clean mental space to believe that effort plus patience can still create something meaningful.
That is true, and I think another powerful way to start 2026 is by setting intentions instead of rigid goals, because intentions guide our behavior every day, like choosing to be disciplined, kind, confident, or curious, while goals sometimes make us anxious and disappointed when results are slow.
Yes, and along with intentions, I want to start 2026 by protecting my mental and physical health, because no success feels good if you are constantly tired, stressed, or unhappy, so simple routines like walking daily, eating better, sleeping on time, and limiting negativity should be treated as priorities, not luxuries.
I like that thought, because we often chase success while ignoring the system that supports it, and for me starting 2026 means building a stable routine where I balance work, learning, rest, and relationships, instead of living in extremes where I either work too much or waste too much time.
Relationships are another important part of beginning 2026, because this year I want to communicate better, listen more patiently, and express gratitude openly, since life feels lighter when misunderstandings reduce and connections become deeper, even if the circle of people becomes smaller.
I feel the same, and I also want to start 2026 by letting go of comparisons, because social media often makes us feel late or behind. But everyone's journey has a different pace, and the only comparison that truly matters is whether I am becoming better than my past self.
Letting go is powerful, because starting a new year is not only about adding new habits, but also about releasing old burdens like guilt, self-doubt, and unnecessary expectations, which silently drain our energy and stop us from enjoying the present moment.
Another thing I want to do at the start of 2026 is commit to learning, whether it is improving my English communication, learning a new skill, or understanding myself better, because growth keeps life interesting and gives confidence that even uncertain futures can be handled.
Learning definitely changes mindset, and I believe 2026 should begin with patience, because real change does not show results immediately, and many people quit too early thinking they have failed, while success often comes quietly after consistent effort over time.
Patience also helps us trust the process, and when we start 2026 with trust instead of pressure, we allow ourselves to enjoy the journey, celebrate small wins, and stay calm during setbacks, which makes the year feel meaningful instead of exhausting.
Finally, I think starting 2026 should feel hopeful, not because everything will be perfect, but because we are willing to show up every day with honesty, courage, and responsibility, even when motivation is low and challenges appear unexpectedly.
Yes, and if we begin 2026 with this mindset, where we focus on progress, balance, self-respect, and continuous learning, then no matter how the year turns out, we can look back and say that we truly lived it with intention and growth, and that itself would be a success.